It begins not with a grand proclamation, but with whispers behind palace gates. After 3 years filled with memories at the modest, sun-dappled Adelaide Cottage, the Prince and Princess of Wales are quietly preparing for a move that could redefine both their family and the future of the British monarchy. Insiders describe this transition not simply as an upgrade, but a seismic shift, a transformation with echoes of both royal tradition and modern family necessity. Behind the iron gates, growing pains and palace ambitions. For the past several years, William and Catherine have chosen simplicity over spectacle. Adelaide Cottage, nestled within Windsor's historic home park, is almost charming in its unpretentiousness: 4 bedrooms, limited staffing, and an atmosphere more country retreat than royal fortress. The couple deliberately sought the stability this home offered their children, Prince George, Princess Charlotte, and Prince Louis, especially during Catherine's health struggles and the intense glare of 24/7 media scrutiny. Yet as George inches closer to secondary school and the younger children's lives become more complex, the cottage's limitations, cramped quarters, few reception rooms, rising security risks have become impossible to ignore. Multiple sources near the family confirm they love the privacy, but they've definitely outgrown the space. The children need more room, and with Catherine's recovery, it feels like the time for a new chapter. Fort Belvedere, more than a mansion, a monument to change? Enter Fort Belvedere, looming on the edge of Windsor Great Park like something out of a royal fairy tale, except with a shadowy twist. Its Gothic spires and rambling gardens were once the domain of Edward VIII, the king who gave up the throne for love. Now, its mysterious halls echoing with the history of abdication crises, wild Edwardian parties, and generations of whispered secrets, may be ready for a new, very different royal family. Why Fort Belvedere? Size and security, extensive lands, a swimming pool, tennis courts, much to Charlotte's delight, and space for dozens of staff, friends, or visiting dignitaries. Symbolism, a place historically associated with both royal scandal and reinvention, a property that, if given to William and Catherine, would signal Charles's anointment of the next chapter. Location, still close to Windsor Castle, but utterly private. Far from the intrusive lenses of tourists, yet perfectly positioned for official events, children's school runs, and Catherine's need for peace as she manages her health battle. Adelaide Cottage, goodbye to modest roots. The contrast couldn't be sharper. Adelaide Cottage, with its homey mantelpieces, creaking floors, and floral drapes, was chosen to give the Wales children something their parents never had: normalcy, outdoor freedom, the illusion of being just another family. They cooked together, played on the lawn, walked their dog without photographers in bushes. But times have changed. Royal duties are intensifying. Catherine's recovery and renewed responsibilities demand both more help and more protection. The children, now some of the most watched minors on the planet, need both safer play space and rooms for tutors, friends, and the ever-expanding retinue that follows a family one heartbeat from the throne. The unspoken drama: who gets to move and what it means. Behind closed doors, the move is seen as a test. Charles's blessing, the king's rumoured decision to grant Fort Belvedere, is more than generosity, it's a message. William and Catherine are not just the future, but the foundation upon which Charles expects the next monarchy to survive. The family split, not everyone agrees. Some old guard courtiers view the move as too soon, too grand. Whispers persist that senior royals see William's family as already becoming an institution unto themselves, with growing independence and hints at a generational power shift. The leaseholder problem: the current tenant holds a protected lease. Any forced handover could stir up rare legal tension and even more press speculation. Renovations, privacy demands, and logistical complexity make this more than a matter of simply handing over keys. Why not expand instead? Yes, talk of adding a vast annex to Adelaide Cottage has circulated. A decade-old, unused red brick building stands quietly next door, its windows dark, its rooms echoing with missed opportunity. It's big enough and could be connected, one palace insider admits, but it would need massive renovations, and it doesn't solve the Wales family's need for long-term privacy as their royal duties expand. The annex, overgrown and in disrepair, has long been a project in waiting, blocked by cost, security, and the sheer scale of moving a living royal home piece by piece. In the end, the consensus, starting fresh, in an estate built for royalty, is easier than retrofitting a country cottage for a future king. The crowded royal map, country estates and old promises. Moving doesn't mean abandoning other homes. Anmer Hall, Sandringham, still the Wales's beloved country escape, scene of barbecues, school holidays, and Catherine's favourite refuge during chemotherapy. Tamenagar, Balmoral William's private Highland retreat, rumoured to host family strategy meetings far from snooping eyes and long lenses. Lwynewyrmd, Wales' symbolic, but infrequently used, a reminder of William's Duchy of Cornwall connections and national responsibilities. But Fort Belvedere would become the base, not just a weekend house, but the seat of an evolving, modern monarchy. Catherine at the centre, resilience and symbolism. No detail is lost on British media or public. The very discussion of where Catherine and William live is loaded with symbolism. After a year marked by her cancer diagnosis and near-total retreat from the spotlight, Catherine's slow, carefully staged return to public life has become a bellwether for the entire monarchy. Her move to a grand new home represents not ostentation, but recovery, hope, and preparation for a new royal era. Her influence, quiet but unmistakable, is felt in every choice. The push for child-centered spaces, security improvements, and the insistence on balancing tradition with a modern, relatable image. Friends say, Catherine thinks about not just her kids, but what Britain expects her home to represent: stability, compassion, a bridge between past and future. The next generation, George, Charlotte, Louis. This move is as much for them as for their parents. George's education. With secondary school looming, choices become more consequential: boarding or day school, traditional or modern. Everything depends on base location. Charlotte's world, now old enough for her own circle of friends and interests, tennis, riding, art, she needs room for her own identity, something difficult when younger siblings share every hallway. Louis growing up, the baby of the family, is now a lively schoolboy. Privacy is essential, and big house means protection from the endless eyes and cameras that follow his every smile. What does the shift really mean? For the monarchy, this isn't just about real estate, it's about safeguarding an institution. William and Catherine's journey from humble cottage to legendary estate mirrors the balancing act the palace must manage every day, humanizing the crown, while still embodying centuries of tradition. For Charles, allowing, or even orchestrating, this move is his subtle way of passing the torch, not abdication, but acknowledgement that the future lies with his son and daughter-in-law. For Britain, every detail: will the move happen? How will it be handled? What message will it send about privilege, modesty, and public service? Is fodder for national debate about what kind of monarchy the country wants now. Unanswered questions and the next act. Will the move be quietly managed, or will legal snarls over current leases and renovations spawn weeks of new headlines? Will William and Catherine's transition spark a wave of royal rebranding, less aloof, more family-centric, an open monarchy in a digital age? Could this shift accelerate already rising tensions with older royal factions and palace aides? The larger royal chessboard. This move comes amid a period of unheard-of royal upheaval. With King Charles's health uncertain, Camilla's scaling back of responsibilities, and Harry and Meghan increasingly distant, every decision about where William and Catherine live is, at heart, a strategic play. Each change has the potential to realign allegiances for a generation. The final word: home as legacy. As Britain watches and speculates, one thing is clear: William and Catherine's next chapter won't just shape their children's memories, it may decide how the world will view the House of Windsor for decades to come. Fort Belvedere, if granted, will be more than a house. It will be the next stage. Not in the background, but at the center. Not an escape, but a foundation for the monarchy's future. In an uncertain era, home is never just a building. It is history, hope, and the heart of everything that comes next.